Welcome back to another episode of Avid Fantasy Football. We got week 16 here, one more week before we go to championship weekend, so definitely want to make sure we get those lineups set and get the best opportunity to win here. So why don't we go ahead and jump into our wide receiver rankings for week 16. Kicking us off here, no other than Tyreek Hill versus the Cowboys. Tyreek Hill did not play last week, however, he does have a good opportunity as it's a home game, and the Miami Dolphins do tend to play a lot better at home than on the road, so a good opportunity for Tyreek Hill. And the Cowboys just got spanked by the Bills on the road, so definitely want to look at that matchup as a big plus. Number 2 is going to be CeeDee Lamb at the Dolphins. Even though he didn't get it going until late, he definitely put up a decent amount of points there. He's going to be number 2. Dolphins do give up a decent amount of points to wide receivers. Number 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown at the Vikings. T. Higgins and the Bengals just look really good, and now you get the Lions going to Minnesota, and which should be a good matchup for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 4, A.J. Brown versus the Giants. Giants have been playing a little bit better, but this Eagles offense is a whole nother story. A.J. Brown should continue to put up the points that he has all year, minus a couple games here and there, but definitely look for A.J. Brown to get some good amount of points in Week 16. Number 5, Justin Jefferson versus the Lions. Chest injury, but he kind of bounced back there against the Bengals. Would like to see him do a little bit more of those higher end points, but definitely not a bad opportunity here for Justin Jefferson. He's number 5. Number 6, you got Deebo Samuel, who's been lighting it up at home against the Ravens in Week 16. This should be another good matchup. Ravens do tend to limit wide receivers, but the way that the San Francisco 49ers have been playing, and they always play better at home as well, definitely look for them after they just dropped a good amount of points on the Cardinals in Week 15. 7 is going to be Cooper Kupp versus Saints. Cooper Kupp definitely is bouncing back to that wide receiver that you would take in the first round. Definitely like to see that opportunity here for him in Week 16. Number 8 is going to be Mike Evans versus the Jaguars. Bottom of the pack when it comes to points given up to wide receivers. Definitely like Mike Evans here at number 8. Number 9, a guy who could be out with injury, but if he does play, he's in the top 10 just by matchup alone. Steelers are right there with the Jaguars as well when it comes to points given up to wide receivers. Jamar Chase should have a good bounce back game. He's been struggling the last 2 weeks, but eventually Jake Browning's going to connect with him here like he did the first couple weeks when Burrow went out. Number 10, you got Stephon Diggs at the Chargers. Good game for Stephon Diggs, and now he gets an opportunity against one of the bottom teams when it comes to points given to wide receivers, so definitely like Stephon Diggs at number 10. Number 11, another guy who was hurt last week and did not play, and that's Keenan Allen. He's going up against the Bills. Home game, though, for Keenan Allen, and hopefully he does play, because that heel injury, I know that can tend to be a nagging injury for him on top of the hamstring injuries he's had in the past. But if he does play this week, I like him at number 11. It's just a matter of how well he's going to do with that heel injury. Number 12, Davante Adams. He's going to be at Kansas City here. Tough matchup for Davante Adams, but he should still be able to get majority of those targets, which is definitely what we want in PPR formats. So Davante Adams, number 12, a guy who was injured as number at 13, dealing with a concussion after that vicious hit from a Steelers defender. That's Michael Pittman Jr. He's at Atlanta. This could be a tough matchup overall, as they do give up a decent amount. They don't give up a decent amount of points to wide receivers, but the way that Gardner Minshew and Michael Pittman have been performing the last couple weeks, this is a connection that's almost unbeatable. At this point, these guys are just killing it. Number 14, DJ Moore versus the Cardinals. Not the best outing last week for the Bears against the Browns, but DJ Moore should get a good amount of points here against the Cardinals. We just seen what Brock Purdy and the 49ers did in Arizona. Now it's a home game for the Bears. Better opportunity for DJ Moore. 15, DK Metcalf at the Titans. No Nico Collins for the Texans last week. Lost Tank Dell for the season. No CJ Stroud. So what happens? Noah Brown comes in and puts up a good amount of points. DK Metcalf should have that same opportunity here in Week 16. He's number 15. 16 is going to be Noah Brown versus the Browns. Good opportunity for Noah Brown, especially if Nico Collins comes back. We're definitely hoping for that. But if no Nico Collins, I mean, he's going to be the guy getting majority of the targets. Either way, Nico Collins or no Nico Collins, Noah Brown should be able to put up a good amount of points. Number 17 is going to be Jalen Waddle versus Cowboys. Jalen Waddle stepped up when Tyreek Hill was out last week, and he should have a good opportunity here against the Cowboys. Again, another home game. Cowboys do tend to play worse on the road, but this should be a good matchup for Jalen Waddle. 18 is going to be Chris Olave at the Rams. Rams giving up more points to wide receivers over the last couple of weeks, and Chris Olave is the number 1 guy in New Orleans, so definitely look for that to continue. 19, Brandon Ayuk versus the Ravens. I'd love to have him up a little bit higher, but definitely seems like Debo's the guy now in San Francisco. Originally, beginning of the season, Brandon Ayuk. Now it seems like Debo's the guy you want in playoffs. So Brandon Ayuk's going to be number 19 versus the Ravens. 20 is going to be Puka Nacua versus Saints. Guy who's coexisting with Cooper Kupp definitely should have a good amount of points, just not crazy amount of points. But Puka Nacua should be consistent enough to get you a floor of about 14 to 18 points in that range. Number 21 is going to be Chris Godwin versus the Jaguars. Chris Godwin outperformed Mike Evans last week. And now in a game against the Jaguars, I do expect them to kind of favor Mike Evans a little bit more. Jaguars, like I said, bottom of the pack when it comes to 2 points given up to wide receivers. Good matchup for Chris Godwin. 22, Rashee Rice versus the Raiders. I'd like to put him up here a little bit higher, but I just like some of the matchups for these guys that are above him. But he's going to be number 22 for me. Still a good matchup for Rashee Rice. He's probably going to be in your lineup every week now, going in all the way for the rest of the year. 23, T. Higgins at the Steelers. Guy who is definitely going to be moved up into the top 15 if no Jamar Chase. 100%, but as of right now, he's 23, expecting Jamar Chase to play. Steelers give up a good amount of points to receivers. Definitely like T. Higgins at 23. 24, Devonta Smith versus the Giants. Giants have been, like I said, a little bit more stingy on the receiving end of the defense here. They don't give up a lot of points, but that Eagles offense is no joke. They are going to continue there. So Devonta Smith at 24. 25, Amari Cooper at the Texans. Texans kind of held a good amount of points to wide receivers last week as they put a lot of pressure on Will Levis and the Titans. So I kind of expect something similar for the Browns here, and Amari Cooper is going to be number 25. 26, Terry McLaurin at the Jets. It's going to be a tough matchup for him regardless, but considering what Jalen Waddle and his speed is able to do, Terry McLaurin's a bigger body. He should be able to contest with Sauce Gardner and the Jets. 27 is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. I do like the matchup again for him this week. Last week I had him a little bit higher, 24 against the Texans. Just that pressure that was given to the Titans was not enough for DeAndre Hopkins to get open down the field or in general. So, but now he gets an opportunity against the Seahawks, who are in the bottom 3 when it comes to points given up to wide receivers. Definitely like DeAndre Hopkins at 27. Again, it's all about how that offensive line performs, but I do think that he could have a bounce back week. I'm just going to drop him a little bit. 28, Jordan Addison versus the Lions. Now, Justin Jefferson is back. Jordan Addison should continue to get a good amount of targets and points as he capitalized on that against the Bengals in Week 15. Number 29 is going to be Jacoby Myers at the Chiefs, another guy who has been taking advantage of the situation in Las Vegas. Now, the Chiefs have given up a decent amount of wide receiver points as well, so definitely look for a little bit of a boost here for Jacoby Myers in Week 16. And then ending the list is number 30, Joshua Palmer versus the Bills. Big play guy down the field, especially if Keenan Allen comes back. That's definitely going to help Joshua Palmer. And it seems like Easton Stick is going to be targeting Josh Palmer a lot after they had a good amount of connections going in that Thursday loss against the Raiders. But that's going to do it for our Week 16 wide receiver rankings. Drop in the comments if you have any issues with it, any rankings that you see it might be a little higher, might be a little lower. Again, there's sometimes better matchups. It's not based on the receiver or how they perform. Career-wise, it's based on the matchups and how they performed all year and how they're getting utilized in offenses. This is what I like to see, and where my list is at is based on those criteria. But definitely drop a comment in there and let me know if you would change anything up. Other than that, we'll see you later in the week. We got playoffs. Let's get some wins.